Let's go. Well, in that case, somebody gets pumped up today.
Here we go. Oh no.
No longer hiding the back shelf there anymore.
Hello, everyone. Well, I got a champagne, so I'm pretty happy about that. I was
Sure.
getting a little sick of my drink back there.
Yeah, you upgraded your cocktail happy hour, and you're now in the big leagues. Hello, everybody. Welcome,
Mm.
welcome. Hello. Great to see some of the regulars here. Hello, see you guys. The naughty kids in the back corner. I like it. I like it.
Mm.
We've got some people from, yeah, of course, all around the world, but a bunch of people within the Bitcoin trend and forecast, various products and signals as well. Great to see you guys and girls here. You guys know that you're always welcome. And there's one or two new names as well. That's fantastic to see as well. Welcome to it. Welcome to the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. It's always happy hour right here at Hodlnots. There's always a drink in hand somewhere along the line. It's 5 o'clock, right? Well, it's past 5 o'clock for Vicky, at least.
Past 5 o'clock for me. I'm all set.
Sure, it's a bit late to be starting at 9 o'clock in the evening, but sure, anytime's a good time to start. Although we do think it's, 4 a.m. for some of you in the west coast of Canada and the States, so it is super early, but either way, we're very grateful that you're all here and joining us on the 27th rendition and edition of the 4-H call. You might notice that right next to me on my left-hand side is Vicky. Wendy is currently on vacay, which is lovely. Good for her. We do know that her internet's a bit spotty. She is with us in spirit. She may pop in, depending on her connection, where she's at now. But regardless, we are going to press forward and continue on this because there have been some exciting. There was a little announcement last week, little.
Little tiny one. Anyone hear what it was?
If you know what it was, pop it in the Q&A down below. This is where this is the proactive, the active section element of this broadcast here in the Hangout studio is that Q&A section where we love to see you guys and girls engaging with us. What was that little announcement? Let's see. Someone who was first on the money. Aha, Kev, good job. Yes, indeed. The BitMart launch. Yes, Donasian. Good job. Good job. Mona. Well, Mona's a bit slow. She's normally the first one to be cracking. You need some more coffee. But yes, exactly. Good job, Kelly. Exactly. Exciting things happening over at BTAF Token. We're very excited. Yes, Peter, good job. Exactly. We're very excited BitMart Exchange. And that is exactly the reason why we here at Hodlnots are looking at BitMart today. It's going to be one of the new homes, or the new centralized exchange, homes for a BTAF token. Obviously, you know that you have been buying lots of BTAF tokens over on PancakeSwap, but especially at bitcointaf.com in our online store with the BTAF Buy Direct. Lots been going on with the AMA, lots of support tickets around that as well, I believe, Vix. Around everybody being
There have been a few. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and I believe that people have been buying tokens, obviously for the long-term longevity of the project, as well as staking. There are lots of great benefits being a BTAF token holder, even being an IPO member, but this is not that call. This is not the AMA for BTAF token. Back to the Hodlnots Happy Hour Hangout. In the session today, we are going to be touching more on the look and the feel, really, of the exchange. We do offer, of course, most of you do know, we do offer the Hodlnots Scalp Trading and Foundational course. And that really should be the starting point of your crypto journey, whether you are all part of the Bitcoin TAF family. If you're wanting to know more about the fundamentals and stuff, we do have a course coming up, and more on that a little later in this episode. But yes, because we teach everyone how to trade and to scalp specifically, it's very important being comfortable and understanding the look and the feel of these exchanges. We've been focused on Binance for quite some time, but BitMart is the exchange we are going to be looking at for a little while.
There she is. Wendy's here.
Oh, Wendy.
Finally, oh my gosh, the internet's been coming and going. So sorry about that. I am connected. So while I'm here, I'm here.
Yay, welcome to it. We believe we had to drag you off the beach or from fishing or from swimming just to be here. So we are appreciative. Mama Bear is in the house. Hello, Mama Bear. Good to see you. There you go.
Yeah, no, I've been here. I've been working in the background and we're just getting a lot of things ready for BitMart. So it's just the connectivity where I'm at goes.
Absolutely. We were just talking about that, and that is the nature of this call today because we were very excited. You'll see down over in the Q&A, people have remembered that little announcement that we made last week that our BTF token is being listed on bitmart.com. People are excited. And so we thought we'd show everybody a little bit more about what the exchange has to offer, some of the similarities between Binance, which is kind of the benchmark, and going forward with our course, we'll be looking at BitMart and how our students, prospective students at least, can navigate around and make use of BitMart as well, because maybe they'll be able to scalp BTF token. And that's definitely what we want to be covering and looking at in the near future as well. So yeah, how has the vacation been? I know you're working a bit, Wendy, but had a little bit of time to relax, a little bit of fishing. Like, yeah, has it been good?
It's been really good. It's been an eye opener over here.
Is that me?
People,
No, it's Wendy. Just as she was opening her eyes, she's closed
Just
them on the
closed them.
screen.
I was thinking the same thing. I'm like,
It's Marcel. I mean, you can definitely understand where Wendy is coming from. All right, we'll leave her to nap over there in the corner. Nobody disturb her. Okay. All right, but cracking on in the 4H today, we are going to be catching up with Marcel. What's been happening? We know that Bitcoin has been consolidating a bit and going sideways, but there have been a couple of there have been a couple of coins that have been popping up left, right, and center, whether people scalping them or using the very powerful income indicator, the HODL fire indicator. So, Marcel, before we jump into that, we also, as mentioned, we're going to be looking at looking and feeling the BitMart exchange. And once, I think, because Vix will be taking us through that, because Wendy is deciding whether or not she's going to go fishing again or come back here. Vicky will be taking us through that. Thanks, Vix. And while she's doing that, we are going to be running a little live contest for you guys and girls to win BTF tokens, because why not? We're being listed in Windows, okay, on BitMart. You can win some BTF tokens. We want you, as Vicky is going through all of that, to tell us what is it that you like about the BitMart exchange, only considering what Vicky is showing you. Maybe it's, something around the look or the feel. Maybe there's a new feature. We want to hear in the Q&A. Don't start sending yet, but we would love to hear from you as Vicky is showing all those things. The opportunity to win some BTF tokens. You know what to do. And then we'll also quickly touch on our upcoming course, because that does start next week, Friday. And yes, and we have one other promotion as well, which is a biggie, a big one, but more on that in a little while. Marcel, I think let's have a quick recap over the last week or two on what's been happening in the den.
Thanks, John. Yeah, like you mentioned, it was a bit of a sideways the last week, but luckily the week before that it was quite action-packed. So let's have a look at the week ending, basically the end of April, the last week of April. We've got some fire wins over here. There was a BNX 19%, another fire win 9%, another one 20%. That was members using the HODL fire to trade on a slightly longer time frame. And then also scalping wise, we had some good scalping last week, or week before rather. There was a 13%, 5%, 4%. Like it happens quite often, is members scalping the same coin with every run. So there was one member that scalped that coin twice, another 1 year scalped FTT twice, 7.8% on costs, GLM 2.5. So some good scalping and HODL fire profits all around. Okay. Then this last week, ending last week Sunday, like you will see here, it was a bit less with everything going a little bit more sideways, but even in that market, we still profiting 7%, 5%. There was some other high 4%. Another one, 4.5%. That was a new coin that launched. So definitely some money to be made in the sideways market as well, or in the consolidating stages. And I know some of the members already this week made some great hodl fire trades as well, which will be in the next update. So from the Den side, everyone is still profiting. Everyone is still grabbing those gains.
What's interesting is that some of our members, Badger, are still on MEXC, have access there, which is pretty good.
Yeah.
And there's some coins that really run quite massively, especially when they launch on that exchange. And it's actually quite similar with BitMart. There are a bunch of really cool, innovative coins that list, ones that run crazy percentages. But what's interesting is the liquidity side of things. Now, I don't know if anybody on this call has traded any of these meme coins, and I see there's, Dog Whiff Hat, the Whiff coin. There's also a Peppy coin, but Peppy Whiff Hat. I mean, we found this. I think we found it on BitMart, and there's some really interesting coins where there's really crazy percentages and great opportunities to make money. And it's something our members in the Den are often looking for as well, right?
We're definitely coming for those highly volatile coins, and if they've got liquidity, even better.
Absolutely, and that is something that we do teach on the course, on the Hodlnots scalp trading and foundational course. It's something to be very aware of, and we talk about the spread. We talk about, yes, the liquidity. We look about the kind of dollar positions that you can trade with. Because it's, I don't know, would you hodl like some of these fast movers, high volatile coins? I mean, do you think it's worthwhile?
In my opinion, no, not really. I like scalping them and getting out and taking my dollars and storing those in my wallet. I think the problem is with all these coins launching nowadays that you'll either have to do like a ton of research every day. You won't have time to scalp, or you need to scalp what's running at that time in that minute. Take your profits and run. That's and the latter is probably more my strategy in terms of scalping.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Vix, but with these coins being quite volatile, and we've seen them list very quickly on MEXC or whatever, and then be delisted. I mean, you're of the same sentiment as Marcel, right? You're not really a long-term hodler of these meme coins and these other innovative coins, right?
No, absolutely not. Because as Marcel said, unless you know everything about the project and make sure that the team is solid, the coin is solid, you just don't know about them. So many coins are launched every day that you just can't, like Marcel said, keep up with them. And you never know. They could be rug pulls, they could be great projects, but you just don't know. And that's the beauty of scalping. We don't need to know, really. We scalp what we see, we're in and out, and it doesn't really matter if the next 5 minutes the coin goes down, up. So we just do that. And it's actually more calming, I think. You don't have to worry about holding what it's doing. Is it going down? Is it going up? Because you're in and out so quickly. So I don't hold any of these little coins.
Yeah.
How about you, John?
No, not at all. I'm just thinking about some of the members who are on the call right now. Some of them are not Hodlnots and don't necessarily understand why we're in and out of coins so quickly, and they're more here for the long term. And that's great. I'm not trying to be disrespectful, excuse me, of that trading style. It's just more a heads up. It's something just to be aware of. So there are a lot of these meme coins. One or two might pop up on some of the longer time frame trading reports, but a lot of research definitely needs to be done around that, and that's important. Here at Hodlnots, we don't really care about the project or the coin, the the idea behind them. We don't spend days researching them. We just see a coin with a whole bunch of consonants or weird names and stuff, and we see it's moving crazy percentages, and we trade it in and out, and then that's it. We're happy. We grab those percentages, like Marcel said. So that's important just to be aware of. For those of you who get excited and maybe have a little bit of FOMO around these coins that run crazy percentages that we talk about, we learn how to mitigate those risks and how to be prepared. It's not something that while might be attractive and alluring for those of you to hodl long term, the volatility is there for a reason, and anything can happen. It doesn't necessarily follow the trend of Bitcoin like so many of these other large cap, medium cap coins do. So just as a quick little disclaimer, so we just thought we'd make sure everybody understands, because we speak about these coins and these great percentages, but maybe not necessarily suited for hodling. But this is the great thing about why, with this course that we do and that we offer, is that as a foundational course, you can apply all of the same mindsets and understanding around timeframes, around how the indicators work together on a shorter time frame, but also on a longer time frame, and why the hodl fire is such a great tool, such a great indicator for that purpose as well. And I don't want to go down the hodl fire route again, because we've been talking about it left, right, and center. We know people are trading it and trading successfully, but there is just something, there's something for you all just to bear in mind, that if you can trade on the lower time frames, maybe like a coin like we saw T-Fuel run the other day, and T-Fuel ran beautifully, and people were using the hodl fire strategy. They were on the 15-minute, the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and they were getting great percentage gains, but they were scalping it at the same time. I think that's pretty incredible. Hey, Marcel, that's
Yeah.
Oh,
Definitely. I know the higher cap coins don't run those big percentages quite often, but like you mentioned, T-Fuel, and some of them do. So I personally have like a high liquidity watch list, and from time to time when I log on to TradingView, I'll just quickly glance at it and see if it's not one of those days where some of them actually is running. So it's good to keep an eye, because they can also be worthwhile to scalp. Not every day, but they do often run quite well.
absolutely. Now, speaking about running, I'm going to run over to the other corner, the top shelf there. Hopefully you guys have all seen the really cool graphics that our creative head of all development, Vicky, has done. I don't know, Badge, if you lean to your right-hand side, me to lean my other way. Yeah, perfect, thanks. Do you guys see what Fluffy from BTF Tokens is doing? What she's sitting on? Does anybody get that? Let's see if anybody gets. Yeah, because that's a great little, very subtle reference. Is it a crocodile? Is it an alligator? Is it something else? It's you all ponder around that. But in the meantime, while you're pondering that, we did mention there is going to be a live contest. You can win some BTF tokens. Vicky is now going to show you all a little bit about the BitMart exchange, some of the similarities from the other exchanges you might be used to, as well as some of the differences. And we're quite excited, actually. There are a couple of really neat features that we're actually going to be teaching our Hodlnots community more about, because we've discovered these. It applies to buying and selling, but we might even include some of this in our new course that's upcoming as well, because there is a lot of innovation. And yeah, even the fees are structured differently. It's actually pretty amazing, and something just to be aware of. So Vicky is going to be taking us through that. And while she is, if you see something you really like about bitmart.com, about this exchange, pop it into the Q&A. Let us know, and you can be in the running to win some BTF tokens. Woohoo! Thanks.
Yay. Yeah, so this is BitMart, and we actually want to get more familiar with it as well as help you get more familiar with it, because hopefully we'll be scalping BTF tokens soon on BitMart. So I just wanted to go through a few things, and the first thing I wanted to tell you is what John touched on, is the fees, because they are slightly different than you might be used to. And right up here in the upper right-hand corner, it's this little person here. If you go here and you go into your account right there, so you need to be signed in to do this. just here on the bottom left-hand side, there is a whole section on fees. So we're just going to go into that. Now, there's a couple things here that I wanted to mention. BitMart has its own token, and it's called BMX. So just here, it's called BMX. And if you hold some BMX, and if you pop this little guy over here to the right, where it's green, they will give you a 25% discount on your fees. So just like Binance does it, Mexi does it, most exchanges do it, but this is their own. So you have to buy BMX, you have to hold it in your account, and then you have to toggle on this little button. And now these are the fees. Now this is slightly different than what we're used to, is because depending on the coin you're trading, the fees are different. So that's a slightly different fee structure than what we're used to. So they have class A, class B, and class C. And you can see I have my button toggled on. So they say instead of 0.09%, it's 0.068% for Maker. And instead of 0.1%, it's 0.075%. And you can read it across. So the three categories. Now, just quickly, Maker and Taker does confuse people. It's not buy or sell. So Maker and Taker is not buy and sell, because Maker can be both buy and sell and Taker can be both buy and sell. In fact, they are, not only can they, but they are. So a Maker is actually a limit buy or sell, because you are making an order on the order book, basically. So when you're limit buying and selling, you're making an order on the order book. A taker is a market buy or sell, because you are taking away, your order never really goes on the order book. You are taking from someone without putting it on the order book. So they're both. So it's not a buy or sell, it's both. So Maker is a limit, Taker is a market, just so everyone knows that. And that's the different fee structure. So they do give you a little bit of a hint of what coins are which. So if you scroll down, there's a whole list of coins on the A pairing, and then you can see what the C pairing is, the B pairing, because you really now need to be aware of what coin you are trading, because it will have an effect on your fees. So that's a little bit different than what we're used to, at least. So that's the fee structure. And then to get into the actual trading screen, which I'll go to now, is in the upper left-hand corner here. You go to trade, and then spot is here. Click on spot, and you'll get to the trading screen. And we'll go through that a little bit once it loads. So far it's slightly different than what we're used to. There we go.
I'm loving that already, Vic. That is such an important thing to be aware of. And just a reminder for those of you who are used to Binance, Maker Taker fee is the same, just as a reminder. Here it is slightly different. So whether you're, and why I'm probably such a big fan of limit selling and limit buying versus market selling, the fees are going to be different here on BitMart. Sorry, Vix, carry on.
Yeah, no worries. It's just good to keep saying it, really. I don't want people to get stung by the fees, especially when we're scalping, because we don't go for the 10%. We go for the, 0.1, 1, 0.5%. So if you get caught up in those little C's, you might not be getting as much as you think you are. So it's actually good to know that. Now, this screen looks fairly familiar. There are two options. So if you go up here on the right, just on the upper right-hand corner here, there are two options. There's the standard layout, which you probably will see Wendy use. She likes the standard layout. So the standard layout is really just with the buy and sell down the bottom here. And then the order book is on the left. The coins are on the right. So it's fairly standard to what we're used to seeing Wendy trade. And if you haven't ever seen her trade, well, then do the course and then you can come see her trade. But then there is another layout right here. So that's the advanced layout. It is slightly different. With the advanced layout in the upper right-hand corner here, you can start to turn things on and off. So for instance, if you don't want to, for some reason, see your chart, you can turn it off. Or if you don't want to see your buy and sell, you can turn it off. But you do have a few more options here than you do with the normal one. Up in the upper right-hand corner, you also have light or dark. So if you don't like the dark screen, you can turn it back to white. And then if you don't like the white, you can turn that back to dark, just there. So that's fairly standard. So for everyone that has done the course, this will look familiar to you. If you haven't done the course, apologies, this might not make a lot of sense, but that's why we're here, because we want you to do the course. So this is the little trading view chart just here. So this is a little mini trading view chart. So if you know how to use trading view, you know how to use this one, except as we always do, we do have to put our own indicators on the chart. So this is pretty much what we use in the Hodlnots scalp trading and foundational course, and we teach you how to read all these. So this is my chart here. You do have some drawing tools over here on the left, like you do in TradingView. Then this is the price, just as normal, the price bar here, up and down, left and right, and back and forth, just down here. The order book, now the order book is slightly different. It's more Qcoin-esque if you ever traded on Qcoin. So this right here, little different. There is no USDT value here. So you actually have to hover over each line, and then a little box pops up over here. And of course, it's going to disappear when I try to get to it, but a little box pops up. And it shows you right on the bottom line of that box is the USDT value. So on that particular line, now it's going to change because I'm on Bitcoin, so it's going to change quite quickly. So it's $108, $113, 204. So you have to actually run your cursor up and down the order book to see how much USDT is actually going in on that line, because if you know how to trade, you need that USDT value to understand liquidity and how much money basically you can trade on this coin. Now, the other thing with the order book is it's cumulative. So this is a little different than, say, Mexi, which you can choose what you'd like to see. And Binance is not cumulative either. So as you go up the order book, you're actually adding each time you go up. So for instance, it's going to change too quickly, but say that's 100, and then the next one you'll have 100 plus whatever on that line, and then the next one you're going to have that plus whatever on that line. So you really need to do some math in your head to figure out how much is actually on that price and how much is actually on that price. It's cumulative, so you can't just go up here and say, oh, 37,000. That's not on that line, that's actually on all of the lines from start to finish. And the same thing with the down here. So the same thing with the buyers, it's cumulative down. The one thing we did notice as well is if you ever traded on Qcoin, this line here and this line here has tiny little liquidity all the time on BitMart as well. So for instance, it starts getting quite big up here, like 28,000, 41,000. This line here is only like, as you can see, $39, $68. So for everyone that scalps with us, be really careful about these two, because you're going to have the same challenge as we used to have in Qcoin, that your order might not be filled with these two lines because there is not enough liquidity. So just be careful with those two lines. And even sometimes it goes down to the second one, I've noticed, and the second one here. So everyone that's ever traded on Qcoin knows what that is. And we just have to be a little careful around the liquidity. So that's just going to be a bit more of a challenge for us there. Now, if you move down slightly, these are on the left-hand side, your open orders, order history. So that is almost the same as anything else. So when you're buying, you're selling, your history will be there, or if you have an open order, that will also be there. So that's fairly standard. Now, up here on the buying and selling, it starts out similar. So if you want to buy, you click here, and then you have a limit buy and a market buy. So again, limit buy is when you tell BitMart what price you'd like to buy it at, and then how much you want to buy. And market buy is you don't tell it the price, you just say, I want to buy $100 worth, and it gives you whatever the best price is. So that's similar. Now, John was alluding to this at the beginning of the call. This is where it changes a little. So this right here is stop loss, but they call it something else. And in fact, there's well, 3 of them actually. So trigger and stop limit, from what we can tell, is almost exactly the same. So I'm just going to push trigger here for the moment. So everyone that knows how to use a stop loss, it actually makes more sense to call it a trigger, to tell you the truth. So this is the price that you want BitMart to stop everything. This is the trigger. This is nothing happens until this trigger is hit. So this is your trigger price or your stop price. Oopsie. And then down here, this is the price at which you want to sell your coin. So that's a stop loss as such, as we call it. Now, the difference is, now this looks very similar to this. In fact, it doesn't really change very much. So again, this is the trigger price. This is the price at which you want to sell your coin. So that's the same. Now, the difference is right here, you can actually have a limit stop loss or a market stop loss. So if you choose trigger, you can say, I want to sell all of my coins, but just give me the best price, because it's market. It's the best market price at the time your trigger is set. So you set your trigger price here. When the trigger is triggered, it'll just go boop and just sell you out. So that is that. Or you can actually do it the same way as we do it. You can put your trigger price in and what price you would like to sell your coins. Now, this trigger here, the difference is when you set a trigger, your coins are not caught up in that order. So again, like Qcoin, if we remember back when we traded on Qcoin, you could keep setting multiple stop losses. You could set one and set one and set one and set one because your coins weren't actually going out of your wallet. So that's the trigger. Whereas if you use stop limit, you don't get the option of market because it's a limit, the stop limit. So you have to set a price. And also when you do this, your coins are stuck in that order. So for whatever reason, you have to choose, do I want my coins there or do I not? So that's kind of the difference between the two of them. So you can do you can do a market stop limit. Well, it's a market limit, it's a stop market actually, not a stop limit. So you can do either one there. Your coins are not caught up in your order, or you can do a stop limit just like normally. Now there is a third option here, and I just wanted to touch on it. When we're scalping, this may or may not be handy. Now, this is an advanced order, and there's two options here. There's one called post only, and there's one called IOC. So I'm just going to do the IOC first. So the IOC means immediate or cancel. So the IOC means you are actually still trying to buy a coin like normal. But what happens is if you use an IOC, either you buy it right then and there for the price you want, or it cancels your order. And you might say, well, why is that handy? It's because all the times you're trying to get into a coin and it only partially fills. I don't know if anyone's had that happen, but you're trying to get in and it partially fills, and now you've bought $2 worth of this coin, and now you're left with the rest of your order, and you have to cancel the order. You have to try to buy more. If you use this particular one, it either executes your whole order or it cancels your whole order. So you're left with all or nothing, basically.
Just to clarify, Vix, for everybody else as well, we're talking about a limit buy or a limit sell, but generally, because again, if you're looking at the maker fees versus the taker fees, which we explained a little earlier, if you're putting a limit buy, because again, I'm 99.9% of the time I'm a limit buying in, a limit selling out. But if you're trying to get into a coin and you're going in with like $100 or $1,000, whatever it is, and then you see that the volatility fluctuates quite a lot, so that your limit order is there for a price, say it's 62294, and my $1,000 is way too much for Bitcoin. And what happens is it only partially fills because I realize that the liquidity has changed, and maybe only 50% of my $1,000 gets taken up. Now, what would normally happen is that other $500 or that 50% position would still be on the order books, but then maybe you get left behind, and then you have to go back to your open orders and then cancel that and then try again. What Vicky is showing you is this really nifty option.
Exactly. And this is not available on some of the exchanges that we use. So it is something to play with. It's good or bad. I mean, sometimes you're like, oh, my order didn't fill, and now I'm left with. So it's a, you just have to play with it, decide what you like. Now, the other one is it's a little bit different. So this is called post only, and it's probably not for scalping, but we just wanted to really mention it. Post only is really kind of a way to add liquidity to the order book without actually buying or selling. So it's post, and that kind of makes perfect sense. It's post only. You're actually not buying, you're posting. So what that means is you can put an order in for something, however many coins you want. I'm trying to think of how to explain it for scalpers, because we really wouldn't do this. So, but I just want to make sure everyone knows why. Yeah, John, go ahead.
Sorry, just to a degree, it could apply to scalp traders as well. It really is around limit orders. And it's a feature that really ensures that your order will only be added to that order book if it does not immediately fill against an existing order that's already in the order book. So it's just being posted, and it ensures that.
Exactly. That's right. So these are two interesting features. Binance used to have them, and then they took them off, and every once in a while you see a button pop in and pop out. But this is a feature now that you could start playing with in BitMart, or not. I mean, again, don't do it if you don't like it, play with it if you do, but we just wanted to show you some of the new features that BitMart has, because again, hopefully we will be scalping on BitMart, and hopefully we'll be scalping BTAP token on BitMart soon. So I think, over here, and again, sorry, I'll just go through this a bit more. This is where, on the upper left-hand corner, this is where you can find your coins, just like normal. So you can put them to all, just here. And then you can also do the change like we do. Oops, change. And there's that coin that John was talking about, the Pepe with hat coin that's gone up 7,000%. And then you get the listing right here. And if you'd like to just choose it, you click on it as normal, like that. And then they do, which I think is great, there's this little information button up here. So you can actually just hover over the little information button, and it does give you a little bit of information about the coin, like what is it? And again, as Marcel said, though, we're scalpers, we don't really care too much, but it is actually interesting to read a little about it like that. And then I think, because this is a little trading view chart, we have all of the things that we normally have. So these are the time frames. There are no Heiken Ashi candles. So our Hodlnots community will have to do the same thing they do with Mexi at the moment, is on trading view, you can have Heiken Ashi candles, or here you have normal. Sorry, John, what was that?
Yeah, sorry, just slight lag on my side, but yeah, because that was a question from Jeffrey, and like we've done with MEXC, a bunch of us in the Hodlnots community, we bombarded MEXC support with the request to add Heiken Ashi candles, and guess what? They did. So that's what we're going to be doing, I guess, as well. One of the other things I do like, just if you go back to the cogwheel top right, Vix, in terms of the layout, it was a bit of a weird one, but you have the option to toggle off a couple of things. So you obviously don't want to toggle off your chart. But yeah, if you wanted to just watch the chart and not be tempted to buy, you're like, oh, I'm not going to be buying Quark today. You can literally turn on and off that option for placing orders. But for instance, if you don't like things distracting you in your chart, like the market trades currently, or the open orders, or the order book, or whatever it is, you can at least play around with that. So those are some nifty options. But again, if you hover over that market trades, if you put it back on VIX, or yeah, whatever it is, and that top right, there's a little X button, you can actually X out. There are a couple of things that you can customize. And of course, there is an option to go to the light screen. Yes, Wendy. Oh yeah, I'm glad sorry to interrupt your nap. But yeah, you can switch to the light side too.
I'm still here.
Just saw your eyes closed. I thought you were napping. But yeah, you can switch to the light side. And again, like Vicky did show you, there are those other options to switch on, make sure you have the fees. And then Vix, I think because, in the next, who knows, month or couple of weeks or whatever it is that BTAP token will be listed, there are a couple of cool, nifty little things up further around BitMart as well, because again, we have a bunch of people on this call who are not necessarily scalpers, that might start to learn to trade. In terms of the more section there, Vix, that drop down, yeah, even the earn side too, I guess. But on the more, that's where you'd find the launch pad for a bunch of tokens and NFTs and like that. And there are a bunch of other really cool, nifty options there too.
And you'll be hearing more of that if you join the BTAP token call next month.
Yeah, exactly. On our next AMA, we will be speaking a lot more about that, but of course on the social channels too. Wendy, have you had a chance to have a look at BitMart, and what are your thoughts?
Absolutely. No, that was a great overview. Thanks for all that extra information from all of you. I'm going to attempt to share my screen, and I can show you what I've done. Can you see it?
Yes, and while you're doing that, Wendy, just want to remind everybody on the call, you can now in the Q&A tell us your favorite feature that Vicky showed you that you like about BitMart, and you can be in the running to win a couple of BTAF, well, not a couple, more than a couple, BTAF tokens. So do that. You've got about 8 minutes. All right, go, go, go. And Wendy, you can go, go, go.
Okay, yeah, great. I found another way you can trade, which I'm kind of experimenting with BitMart. I'm not happy that they don't have Heikin candles right now, but again, it's just like you said, John, if we all tell them that we need them, that's great. I've also found that over here on the time frames, you cannot change these. They don't give you that option to do that on this screen, but I was also looking at the Peppy Whiffy hat or Whiff hat, because it went up tremendously here. But what I would show you is that you can, if you go to the future screen, the USDT, they do have, but we're not leverage trading, but we do have a way that we can use it on scalping that we've gone over in our course, that we can trade on it with the Heikin candles. And we'll go over that with those people who are on the course. But over here, what I found is when you go into this, and yes, I do have the light mode on. So you can, again, toggle back and forth. But on this particular layout, when you go to the advanced, now I am used to the standard and I really like it because it reminds me a lot of Binance. But you can see here that you can turn these things off like they said. But if you go to the advanced, what you can do is you can move these around. And I found that I can have a much bigger screen over here. Over here in the corner, you see how you can move those things around? And you can adjust. So I can make it as big or as small as I want, but I can do over this on the side, and I can expand the numbers so I can see them a little bit better. And I can, again, use all of my indicators here. You have to set them all up like we show you in the course. And then you can hide them here, but you can also go down, and I found that you have to drop it whenever you do it because it's pink until you drop it. But I like the fact that down here at the bottom, I can have the buy and the sell all right here next to the order books. So I found that this is kind of a nice setup. And all you have to do is, again, go down to the corner of these. And you'll see the little, now on this one, you'll have to go all the way down to the bottom. And you can expand it. You can make it shorter or bigger, whichever you'd like. But I was just kind of making my buy and orders. And then you have this down at the bottom, which you can move up and down and adjust. So your order book is something that I don't really need to look at right now. I want my buy and my sell order screen with all of the information that I have here right next to my order book so I can see it. But this is just a little different layout, but in advance, you can move these blocks around so that you can trade on them a little bit differently. So I wanted to show that. I thought that was just a really cool thing, and just to be able to have that handy, I thought was really nice. And then over here, I did notice that this pops out, and you might get a little annoyed with that because it covers up your screen. But you just have to see there's a little diagram here, and if you click on it back, it disappears. So don't get frustrated if it comes out, because you need to be able to find your coins, and you can go to all coins. You can make favorite coins and spot coins. And again, Vicky already showed you how to change these around where you can see them, and you can go all the way down. But you might get a little frustrated if you don't understand the platform, how it covers up your screen and you can't get it back. Just click on that and it goes back. And then you have all your trading view option tools there. So that's really the other thing that Vicky covered a lot. So that's it for me, just to show you a couple little things you can do on the advanced screen. So you might see me moving over in BitMart.
Yeah, indeed. I mean,
I didn't say you would, you might.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, especially because, I mean, people are excited that our BTAF token is launching on BitMart, but also because our upcoming course, segue, is all going to be about Binance and BitMart as well. I'm just looking at all these great entries over in the Q&A down below. Yeah, Jeffrey, that's a cheeky one. I think when you appreciate that one. My favorite feature, changing it to the white background. All right, if that's your vibe.
I like that. I like to be able to see my candles, green and red. And I use the gradient, which I think is really nice too. But the nice thing about BitMart, just saying about it, it takes not even 5 minutes to sign up for an account. And they are United States based. And so they do have a license. And so it's going to open up the market for a lot of our wonderful USA and other countries. So that's one of the really great reasons why we did choose BitMart. But 5 minutes it takes to upload. You don't even have to upload documents to get to level 1. So I really thought it was quite easy to, and I this morning opened up my personal account and I was able to transfer money in crypto and it went super fast. I did not have any problems whatsoever. So I think it's going to be a good exchange for us.
Absolutely, we're very excited. Yeah, that one of the questions that pop up there, Vix, around BitMart being used in the USA.
Yes, there is a question in the chat. So Wendy, I think you just went over that, but yes, you can use BitMart in the States. Wendy has done a lot of research on that. So Wendy, if you'd like to answer Rick, please, about can BitMart be used in the US?
There's too many questions. I gotta find down there where Rick is. Okay. Yes, you can use it in the United States, but they do say to use a VPN. They actually tell you to use a VPN and put yourself in a different country, but they won't question you on level 1.
And that's perfect. That is something to know. Again, VPNs are always an option, but just be careful around that. But again, access to level 1 is pretty simple. Now, Badger, we've been looking at BitMart for a while now. You want to let us know, what is your favorite feature on BitMart?
I like the fact that the limit buys and limit sells are the fees are less than market buying and market selling. Because like you, I try to always limit buy, limit sell, just because some of the coins that we scalp market buying can get you in a lot of trouble. I try and limit buy, limit sell, and if I can get it at a better fee than market buying, market selling, I'll probably never market buy, market sell again.
The good enough reason for me. Speaking about reasons, there are a bunch of you, and so that's great, Janice. So far, it's working for me in the US. That is super cool. Thank you for that confirmation. The person who asked that question around whether
that's good.
That's quick. Thanks, Rick. Great to have you back as well. Yeah, that's amazing. But there are quite a few entries from all of you. And Jen, absolutely glad we could be of assistance regarding the explanation of maker and taker. It's one thing that has confused people. And while on Binance there is no difference between the fees, here there is such a case, especially between a maker fee and a taker fee. You want to be a maker, not a taker. And yeah, so definitely something to be aware of. Then yeah, comments like, thanks for the explanation about the fees. I had understood the various class A, B, and C incorrectly. That is amazing. Thank you for that. Now, someone said I like the trigger feature. We'll check it out. Another person also the IOC trigger. Yeah, Jeffrey's little cheeky one. I also like the IOC feature. I like the feature on the advanced screen where you can switch off things like charts and others. Shirts, don't turn off your chart otherwise. Yeah, I like the BitMart exchange because we can add our Bitcoin trend and forecast indicators. Yeah, of course, it's trading view. It's amazing. I like that we can toggle the market on and off. Yeah, I agree with that one. I like the market trigger order or the best price or trigger order. I also love the fact that the BTF token is launching on BitMart. Of course we do. I like the toggle function. Let's see. I like the way you can make the charts bigger. Of course. I like the fact that the stop limit is called a trigger. Yeah, it makes a lot more sense, eh? Yeah, I think that's pretty good. Again, the market price trigger order, the IOC trading fees. Yeah, some great features on BitMart. Thanks for the explanation, Vicky. And looking forward to trading BTF token. Aren't we all? It's gonna be so weird sculpting our very own token. It's gonna be. I just want to buy. I don't want to sell my token. And yeah, awesome. So lots of great entries. Vix in the background. I believe you've been adding all of the names to the famous wheel of names, giving it a spin. Who is winning those 25 BTF tokens?
I did, and I did put everyone. There's quite a lot, as you saw, and Anton has won the BTF tokens.
Anton!
Yay!
Woohoo!
I think that's a South African living in New Zealand. Congratulations, sir. It's super cool having you with us, and congrats. It pays just to be on these calls, does it not? Now, speaking about calls and courses, Vix, if you want to quickly remind everybody about the upcoming Hodlnots scalp trading and foundational course.
Yes, we do have another course happening on the 17th of May. So I'm just trying to actually there we go. So we do have a course happening on the 17th of May, and I'm just going to show everyone because we have a special promotion running for this one, which will benefit two people, really. So I'm just going to get it. You can have a look or tell your friends, more to the point. This is it here. This is our live scalp training and foundational course just here. And if you go into it, you can read all about it. And a lot of people on the call have already done the course, and we have a lot of good testimonies. So the next one is 17th of May. So plenty of time to still join. And we have a special promotion going. So John, would you like to say what it is, or would you like me to?
Vix, I can leave it over to you. I'm just throwing something else in quick.
Sure. Okay. So if you have a friend and you use your affiliate link, if you're already a BTF Trend and Forecast member, you use your affiliate link, and you get them to sign up for the course, they go into the draw and you go into the draw to win a 1-hour one-on-one session with Wendy. So that's worth about $400. So again, if you have a friend, tell them to sign up for the course. You go into the draw, they go into the draw to win this. It's not so it'll be two different calls. So yeah, I mean, you can do it together if you'd like, but it'll be two different calls. She'll do one with your friend and one with you. So that's for the May course.
Amazing. So it's a win-win-win really all around. Get to spend time with Wendy, and of course, I mean, she does charge for her time. So you're going to be winning, and the person you refer is going to be winning. Or if you join and the person who referred you gets to be part of that winning team, then that person also benefits as well. So amazing stuff. And apologies, Anton, I misquoted, misread. You actually live in Australia, not New Zealand.
Yeah.
I know that there's some rivalry between the two countries, but either way, it's still good news. Please send a support ticket over in your back office under Hodlnots and say there, I won the 4H contest. So yeah, congratulations on that. We know a couple of you are peeling off this call shortly. The DTM call is coming up. But again, a huge thank you to Vicky and even Wendy for being on the call and showing the BitMart side of things. Badger, of course, my brother from another mother, thanks for being on the call and showing all those Den updates. We here at BitcoinTradingForecast.com, Hodlnots, BTF token. There is so much going on in the background, so many great things coming. We do have our course coming up next week, Friday, for that Hodlnots scalp trading and foundational course. BTF token will be listing on BitMart sometime in the next, who knows? I don't want to say year, but in the next number of hours, days, months, weeks, whatever. But it's exciting. There's a lot going on. We're trying to bring the best value to all of you in Hodlnots and Bitcoin Trading Forecast. So yeah, thank you for being all on the call. That was super fun. We will probably be talking about a couple of other new things or interesting things that as we discover in 2 weeks' time, because we'll be into the new course already. Badger, I'm excited. Feels like it's been a while since.
Yeah.
It was just last month.
It's been a while. And yeah, we are tweaking it a bit, so it's gonna be fun.
Also true. We are tweaking it because not only is BitMart changing slightly, but there are a couple of new things. The course is full of value. All right, there is so much going on, and yeah, we're looking forward to welcoming our students from around the world. Yeah, in 9 days time, we'll be having our first coffee chat. So exciting stuff. So until the next time for episode 28. That ever-going saga. It's like Star Wars, but different. Anyway, we'll see you guys all soon. Thanks for being on the call. Love you lots. Until next time. Bye.